My temperature's normal. That's always good news. I am out and about for the very first time here on Geektopia. I'm so excited to be away from my little mini studio at home. But where am I? iCity. There is a new shop. It's the latest outlet for Gamers Hideout and it looks gorgeous. This place looks stunning. I had to come and see it for myself. But there's another purpose for me being here today. I have a friend, his name is Cut. I nicknamed him Final Cut Pro. You might have seen him on a few episodes of Geektopia, but he's actually more than just a guy that comes to chat with me. He's the editor for Geektopia and Jantan Collective, but he has a slight problem. His PC setup in the office and at home is slow. If you know anything about rendering, I'm not going to get into details here, but a 10-minute video might take him 12 hours or more to render. It is ridiculously bad and it slows up the workflow for everybody and it's frustrating for him.
No, God, please, no, no!
So I thought, why don't I try to help him out? Work within his budget for a new setup to just improve the workflow in the office and hopefully make him a little bit happier because he's a very sad man. I'm kidding, Cut, because he's editing this right now as we speak. Hi, I'm Adam. Great shop you have. I'm just here to collect some items and build some stuff. Is it all good to go?
Yes, we have it in the back.
Perfect. By the way, in case you're wondering how I got everything together in one piece, it's simple. Rigear and Gamers Hideout were able to hook me up pretty easy. Just went to the website. I've come here in person to the store because I want to see everything with my own eyes. The budget for this, it's about 4,800 ringgit-ish around there. We're not getting him a monitor because he already has one. But what do we have? What have we tailored for Cut? Now, the first thing that's going to catch everybody's eye is always this. I know the whole world's going crazy for the RTX 30 series, but remember, we're working within Cut's budget, and to be honest, price of those cards have gone skyrocketing high and it is absolutely ridiculous right now to get it. This will suffice for Cut. Next thing I want to highlight is actually this bad boy right here. 8 cores, 16 threads, boosts clock speeds over 4 times the amount. This ensures the rendering will not be an issue. There's the RAM right there. We find that maybe 16 is enough. We don't need to go all the way to 32. So 8 and 8 should suffice for Cut. Gonna put this back up here. I'm not gonna pick this up because I don't think there's enough space there, but this is the power supply. This is like the lungs. And the reason we're chosen this one is because it is superb. And should he ever wish to upgrade to the RTX 30 series, this will have absolutely no problem handling it. We got the hard disk here as well. It's still sealed inside the case. Right here, PCIe 4. So he should have no problem connecting everything that he needs to connect and so forth. Very excited to have that in place. Talked about the power supply here. I mean, what else is there to say? This is to ensure he can stay connected at all times as well. And finally here, the motherboard. This should also suffice for Cut right there from AORUS. And it's really, really quite sexy, to be honest. So now you've seen all the innards and all the guts. What about the casing? Got excellent airflow. It's one of the best in terms of budget, and it should also be sufficient for my friend. So let's get started.
Alright, starting off with our build, we have the Gigabyte B550M AORUS Elite motherboard. This is basically the main hub where all the components will come to and bring the PC alive. The core reason we selected this specific motherboard is because it's super durable and future-proof. If Cut decides to upgrade his CPU, he will have no problems doing it with this motherboard. So one of the first steps in building a PC is placing the CPU into the motherboard socket. The CPU is considered the brain of our computer, and this is one of the most crucial parts. Never, ever bend the pins behind the CPU. If you do, well, there goes your PC. On the motherboard, there will be a metal link on the side. Simply just lift that up, and now, as you can see, the CPU, there's a small little triangle on the side. What you simply want to do is align the CPU on the arrow of the motherboard. You'll see a tiny marker on the CPU that indicates how you should place your CPU at. Gently place down the CPU. It should fall into place smoothly. Simply just lock the metal link, and there you have it. The brain of the computer is installed. Now we're going to install our RAM. We have 16GB DDR4 of RAM. Since we have 2 sticks of RAM, always place the RAM on the 2nd and 4th DIMM slots. First off, open the plastic clip on top, line up the teeth on the bottom of the RAM on the DIMM slot, and apply even pressure on the front and back of the RAM stick until you hear a click. That's when you know it's secured in place. Now we'll place the M.2 stick on the NVMe key. Simply take out the metal heatsink, take out the screw of the metal pin, apply the sticker correctly to the heatsink of the NVMe. Insert the M.2 in place and screw it back. Simple as it is. Yeah, it's as simple as that. Now if you purchase the AMD Ryzen 3700X, it comes with a Wraith Prism cooler. Align the cooler to the CPU and use the side clippers to clip on the socket near the CPU. Proceed to place this cable into the fan socket on your motherboard.
We interrupt this program for an important news announcement.
Gamers Hideout is more than just games. That's why I love coming to the store. People associate video games and video game stores as just selling the games itself, but I'm just gonna showcase a few items here which I think are really, really cool. Like here, Nintendo Switch MCO won last year. I think the Switch was sold out everywhere. Another thing about gaming is it can be a bit expensive, right? It can be pricey to go out there and buy some new games. There is a solution, however. So if you have had enough of whatever game that you have at home and you want to make some money from it to reinvest into a new game, or maybe come and take a look at a secondhand game yourself, this is the place to be. I love some of the games they've got here. Ghost of Tsushima is a fantastic game. Demon's Souls, one of the hardest games of all time, redone here. Control is a brilliant game. And this is the game I play the most, Black Ops Cold War.
Oh, there's one at the tower.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
Time to place this bad boy into the motherboard. Always remove the I/O shield from the casing. Check these pins and see which form factor your motherboard is. We're using an MATX motherboard, so this case will do just fine. Simply screw in the metal pins to the motherboard and ensure that it's secured. Hard drives come in 2 variants, which are 3.5 and 2.5. Here we have the 2.5 one, so we'll attach it to this specific mount. Slide in the hard drive into the mount, screw in the pins, and slide that bad boy inside the bottom of the case. Continue to ensure that the pins are tightened. The graphic card is pretty simple to install, and also very important. All you have to do is insert the graphic card to the PCIe X16 slot, then simply just screw in the pins and it's done. The PSU, aka the power supply, aka the item which powers up your whole PC, comes with a bunch of cables. Not all of the cables will be used usually. Each cable has its own label. For example, VGA for graphics, CPU for the CPU, MB for the motherboard, and the list goes on. Now mount the PCU into the case first before inserting the cables, or else this will be a headache when it comes to managing your cables. Now mount all the cables to the PC components and voila, you are pretty much set. Oh, and yes, the cable management would be a pain. So quick tip, get yourself some cable ties to ensure neat cable management. Ta-da!
That's it. We're done here in Gamers Hideout. Thanks to them, Rigear, for sourcing all the parts, making it really easy and accessible as well. But this product is not ours. We have to give it to our editor, Cut.
So Aaron revealed the PC to Cut, and he certainly looks like a very, very happy camper. Mission accomplished. So what did you think of this build? Anything you would have done differently? Just remember, it was within a certain budget. Comment below and let me know. Till next time, it's Adam signing off.